but we haven't seen too much of that out on other blockchains. So I think Solana could take the throne. And with the consumer side, that's a really good way to onboard like the next million or 1 billion users even. And that's why like we are, or myself, I am so bullish about Solana.
Hey there. If you're new here, I'm the MetaVerse Explorer, and I provide you with the most up-to-date Solana-specific content and alpha to increase the size of your portfolio. All totally free. All you gotta do is click that little bell and that little icon. I get my sources from 3 different places. The Grape Solana Discord channel, join us, have a chat to me. The Solana Grapevine, a daily newsletter providing the best source of information regarding new protocols, rewards. It's a group of passionate people that carefully curate new announcements, new projects to discover, and actionable intel for you to experience yourself. You can get the link to this down below. And of course, the Solana Foundation and the ecosystem. Let's get to this episode. Hello everyone, this is me, the Metaverse Explorer again. We have another interview, this time with Phantasia. Phantasia, if you guys didn't know, is a Solana-based fantasy sports platform that's going to be coming out very soon. They do have a couple of announcements coming up today. We have some prizes as well for today. We're announcing some competitions. There's Grape rewards coming out. So just to clarify, there's 500 Grape going out to non-verified wallets, and then there's 250 Grape going out to verified wallets. So let's talk about Phantasia for a second, guys. If you're listening at home on YouTube, on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see the Discord AMA happening right now at the Grape Discord. And on the right-hand side of the screen, we can see the Phantasia website and their Twitter. So, Digital Dan and JMont96, thank you very much for joining us from Phantasia. How are you guys going?
Hey, thanks for having us on. I'm doing pretty well. We flew back from Lisbon from the Breakpoint conference a couple days ago, and I'm recovering from a little bit of I'm calling a Solana sickness.
Ha.
So other than that, good. How about you? Monty?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Fortunately, it was pretty scary. We thought Dan had COVID before we were gonna leave.
Oh no!
It turned out okay. All negative.
Oh, that's good. That's good news. I'm very glad for that. So let's just go right there to Solana conference. How was your experience? Was it good? I was watching every minute at home.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We actually spent most of the time in the Hacker House. So I'm not sure if you heard about that at all, but the Hacker House it was an extension hosted by a bunch of projects, and we actually contributed to supporting and sponsoring it as well. But just a place where people who are building projects can work out of. Yeah. And we decided that we're going to go out and do our Mainnet beta launch out of the Hacker House. So we did that on the Tuesday of the conference. So that was super exciting. And then after that, the conference was great networking, meeting a lot of different projects, and also just like learning about what everyone else is working on.
Oh, that's awesome. I did see some pictures of a Hacker House, and I think that guy that was responsible for starting it, the guy is like Sonny's, he's very, very fly. I forget his name. Okay, so let's dive right into Phantasia, shall we? So can you tell us, before we talk about Phantasia in general, can you tell us a little bit more about you two, Digital Dan and Jmon? Where did you guys come from? What's your crypto experience?
Yeah, sure. I can start off and then I can pass to Jmon. So I started off in crypto probably, like early 2014, just having a computer science background and been developing for a very long time. Got into it just because it's a new technology. So interest there, and then didn't really dive deep down the rabbit hole until Ethereum came out and started really diving deep into that. Programming Solidity probably 2017, 2018. So been around the block for quite a bit. And then the first actual project that full blown developed is Fantasia, but have been doing stuff in the crypto space, whether it's community growth, participating in different protocols, investing, trading, all that kind of stuff for quite some time now. So yeah, that's a little bit of my crypto background, but in terms of background, where I come from is and fairly similar to most of the Fantasia team, is a software engineering background or traditional computer science foundational background, and then worked at a couple startups, and now obviously full-time Fantasia.
Right, awesome. Yeah, good rich background there. Jay Bont, what about you?
Yeah, so like Dan said, pretty similar background. Our team is lucky enough to be all engineers, so we all have software engineering backgrounds. I've been in crypto quite a bit less of a long time than Dan has. I got into it kind of at a shallow scale about a year ago, and then worked in consulting for a year, and got really red pilled by Dan, and started contributing to this project, and then ever since then, been busy learning all the time.
Awesome. So you mentioned there your team are full of engineers. This must be pretty cool to have. Like you can probably ship products very fast. Do you have like other team members at the moment, or are you looking to hire at the moment? What's the team looking like?
Yeah, so we have 5 full-time engineers, and we kind of wear different hats. A lot of us have all of us have traditional software engineering experience, but like product experience. Jamon's worked in consulting for a little bit, and we also have a full-time artist on the team. Currently not really hiring. We're kind of going down the philosophy that a small team can ship really, really quickly. And anyone who's used our product and followed us throughout the journey can see that we're able to make changes really quickly and get them out the door. Communication is very easy to do that with a small team of engineers. And as soon as you start growing beyond that, it kind of gets hard. And I think, I don't want to speak for myself, but the other engineers on the team are like of what we consider 10x engineers, or what I consider 10x engineers, and that's like the paradigm in software engineering where one engineer can contribute the same amount as 10 engineers. So I believe the team has that. Obviously, I'm speaking for myself, but everyone else on the team.
Yeah, right. It's quality over quantity, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
nice. And something you did mention there, I would totally agree with you that most of the interviews I do and most of the teams I talk to as well, they're more on the smaller side because they can ship a lot quicker. I feel.
Yeah, that makes sense with a lot of projects. We've definitely seen that as well. We were talking to FTX when we were in Lisbon, and we found out that their team only had like 3 to 4 engineers for a really long time, and I think now they're up to 10 or 12 engineers,
Yeah.
which is pretty insane because they're what, like I don't know, multi-billion dollar company.
Yeah, exactly.
So in crypto, you can really it shows the power of engineers. Truly does, just on top of the rails of the blockchain.
Yeah, that really just gets me excited because low overheads. Your team is so small. Anyway, so let's talk about Fantasia. So let's talk about the industry in the beginning first. So fantasy sports. What can you guys tell us about fantasy sports in general, and why did you guys decide to go into this industry?
Yeah, so fantasy sports in general is the concept of creating a team, and there's many different game mechanics. But creating a team based on real life players and predicting that your team is going to do better than your opponent's team. So there's wagering that happens on companies like DraftKings and FanDuel. There's other apps that are free to play, ESPN, Sleeper, Dream 11 in India. It's a worldwide phenomenon, and basically every single country has their own different apps to host fantasy sports. And in America, almost everyone plays fantasy football, whether it's at school, at work, with their friends, family. So This is kind of like a no-brainer area, and it's only been growing because sports has been growing globally. So that's a little bit about the area in general. And then the reason we went to fantasy sports is because we're just big fans. We've been playing it forever. I'm personally a big sports fan, and I know Jamon is as well. But I'm also a big numbers guy. So picking and doing like statistics on how well my team's going to do and predicting that is super fun for me.
Oh, nice. You're like the card counting guy behind the scenes. You're like, oh, this guy's got higher stats, or he's more likely to win. That's your type of play.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of where like the differentiation comes in fantasy sports, because there's so many combinations of the team you can create. So it's really going down to like figuring out what is that leg up you have and doing that analysis. So very similar to trading or really anything else you have to do analysis for. Some people's approach obviously is also just like spray and pray, or pick and pray and close your eyes. So it's all different strategies, but at the end of the day, it's fun, and most people play with their friends or online communities, and we can get into that a little bit later. But
yeah.
Jamon, oh sorry, I want to hear what kind of Jamon has to say about like the whole fantasy sports, because I know he's been in it for a while.
Yeah, definitely. I've been playing fantasy sports for probably about 15 years now, and we were actually playing fantasy sports when we came up with this idea, which was a really great thing that we just kind of discovered one thing that we didn't like about a specific platform, and then that kind of sparked this whole platform that we have going now.
Yeah, we can build it better.
Right, exactly. And I think another great thing about this project and fantasy sports in general, it's honestly a lot of fun to work on. We've seen a lot of DeFi projects. Not that that's bad in any way, but just being involved in like the sports world every single day, doing something that's a little bit more unique. It's just a ton of fun to work on. So that's been great.
Yeah, right. Thanks for your input, guys. So that's the industry in general. Now you guys have an application already, and it's on. I'm looking at it on the screen at the moment. Can you tell us about the Phantasia Mainnet beta?
Yeah, for sure. So, currently we have something. We're on Mainnet beta on Solana, and what that entails is we have fantasy sports being offered. Daily fantasy sports, and for people who are listening in that aren't super familiar with fantasy sports, there's two major categories of fantasy sports. One being season-long leagues, which kind of what the name entails is you pick a team, and that's your team for the season. You can trade players with other people in your competition. You can draft them off the bench, and so on. That's more of a long-term game, and you have to be obviously committed for a season, which in most sports obviously is usually 6 to 8 months. We start off with the daily fantasy sports option, and that type of game is where you can, in the NBA, it's a match day, so you only have to draft a team for one day, and in the NFL, it's for a whole match week. So from Thursday to Monday night, you draft a team, and every week you can draft a new one and compete against new players. So that's what we have currently up on Solana Mainnet beta, and our beta Fant token is up. It's testing out our play to earn mechanics, which when we flip the switch and go live, full mainnet without beta and have the IDO, we'll be giving people rewards in our fan token.
Okay, so that opens up a whole slew of questions. So I think I'll just start with what I have in my mind first. So I'm looking at right now the NBA Fantasia November 16th. So this is one of the daily contests that you were saying. It starts in 4 hours from now, and there's 16 Fanta prizes. And there's also 101 people out of 150 participants joined. Do you have to have the full roster of people join, or can 101 people play with 3 matches?
Yeah, 101 people can definitely play. There's just a maximum of how many people can join. But yeah, that one that's starting today, that's cool. 101 people already filled up and signed up to play that one.
Right, and yeah, another thing to add on to that is, a great thing is the more people that you have in a contest, the higher the potential is for the prize as well.
Oh, right. Can you talk about the mechanics behind how that works? How does is it like people pay to play, and then the prizes increase in accordance to the people? Question to anyone?
Yeah, Dan, not sure if you want that one.
Yeah, I can take that. I was drinking some water. Yeah, so the whole goal is to get contests with more people, create that community, and on average, so it's a linear type of function where the more players that join the contest, that higher rewards are for the winners. And all our contests right now and in the near term future are going to be free to enter. It's going to be play to earn game. You earn Fant tokens from winning the contest or doing different challenges, as we call quests. And those Fant tokens can be redeemed and then utilized in our in-game store to buy different types of NFTs. And those NFTs then can be utilized and for your fan card, which is a concept that we created. It's just your in-game personality on Fantasia. It's not currently live. It'll be live within the next couple of days, and users can customize this. I'll have a profile picture. I'll have different trophies you win from in-game events, partnerships that we have with other projects, vanity items such as memes that you can buy. You can customize your background. So basically anything in-game you can on that avatar you can customize to make your own to really show off. And then on the flip side, some other utility from earning the Fant token is we have this thing. So you see the contest that's created out there.
Yeah.
Anyone can create contests once we get out of this beta stage, and the contest creator has an important role to create these contests. And the more Fant tokens they're holding, the more different features the people who are joining their contest get, whether that's analytics, customer support, chat upgrades, those types of things. So there's 2 different main utilities for the token.
Oh, damn. So that's a lot more robust than I initially thought was happening there. So well, going back to what you said previously, so you have the Phant token. Can you explain the difference between the Phant beta, the beta Phant token, and the normal Phant token, and just talk about the token in general for us, please?
Yeah, so the beta Phant is there. There's no value. It's there for testing purposes. We want to be able to test out our game mechanics and our play-to-earn algorithm on Mainnet. We were previously on DevNet, and as we talked to Solana engineers, they told us that Mainnet and DevNet are far, far different, and the only way to really truthfully test Mainnet is to launch on it. But we didn't want to launch on there with our actual token.
Makes sense.
So we didn't go through like a test run, and that's what the beta Phant token is used for. And then once we have an IDO, which we're planning on in early December with Selenium, the real Phant token will come out, and then users will start earning that from those in-game contests.
Right, but people can already start earning Phant tokens at the moment on your platform, can't they?
They can start earning beta Phant.
Oh, beta Phant, okay. And will beta Phant be transferable to Phant at all, or not at all? It's just completely like no segue to mainnet actual token.
Yeah, and right now there's no value, but we are finding different ways to reward our beta users. So we're keeping track of like who's using our platform.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so that's about the Phant token in general, and we know you guys will be having a Selenium IDO pretty soon. How's that process been for you guys? Have they been good to work with? Can you tell us about that kind of process?
Yeah, Selenium has been really good. We actually met up with them in Lisbon, and we really like their platform. They have a big audience. We've seen a lot of different IDO strategies, and we think that Selenium has the most reach. So the goal of the IDO is to get into our community's hands, and then also able to get more user growth for our platform. So we believe that the best fit is working with Selenium just because they meet both those requirements really well.
Yeah, I would agree there. There's only kind of two main IDO platforms, which is Radium and Selenium. And unless you do like a Mango style free-for-all and the everyone just gets in and piles on, like, you know, there's not. What do you guys think about that model there?
Yeah, we've seen it work quite well. So there was a launch, UXD, maybe a couple days ago. They seem to raise a lot of money, but the market cap gets very saturated, and it seems like from just a couple of whales, from what the analytics that we've seen, or at least I've seen a little bit of. So I don't know if there's much room for growth for the community from that, but it's also done really well. There are different parts of it that are more fair, because like anyone can join at any single time, versus the other platforms you need to hold different tokens, but it's just different parts of the ladder system. So I don't think there's a single right or wrong answer. It's just we're seeing where the market takes it, and hopefully we'll figure out the best way forward soon.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm a part of I've participated in some of those as well, and some have performed well, some haven't. I guess that's one of the pros and cons. But anyway, so there's something else on your website here I wanted to lead into, which is the NFT builder. So this is kind of an application for us to build our own Fantasia NFTs. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I'll give like a quick 30 seconds, or then Jaymont can talk about, because he actually built that. But the goal of that is just to show all the traits that we have of the Fanatics, which is our NFT that's coming up, and then we're dropping that mint in exactly 1 week from now. So check that out. Follow us on Twitter and Discord to learn more. But yeah, I'll let Jaymont talk a little more about that, because he built it.
Yeah, yeah, not too much more to say about that. I mean, it's just it's essentially just a super easy way to preview the different traits and rarities that we have that are going to drop in this next collection here. That was something that we put together in about a day, and weren't really sure how much traction it would get, how popular it would be. But a lot of people have been building different NFTs, putting them into our Discord. We've had a lot of people say how much they like the tool, and yeah, I think we'll probably end up helping a couple other projects out building something similar as well. So yeah, that's been a pretty successful tool.
Yeah,
although you cannot move from there.
No, that's fine. I mean, from a retail perspective, from my point of view, it's really nice for me to be able to go in and kind of visualize what my dream NFT of this collection might look like. So I actually think this is a pretty valuable tool, and I haven't seen it anywhere really in Solana at the moment. It might be out there, but I haven't seen one. I think it's a pretty good tool. You might be able to help some other projects with it, like you say. So let's go into what you just mentioned there. So your NFT minting. So you guys will be minting your NFT, I think 23rd of November. There's going to be a Fanatics collection of 8888. Can you tell us about the NFT mint, the fair launch protocol that you're going to be using, why we should mint a Fanatic NFT, and just generally?
Yeah, definitely. So you are correct. We are having that mint in exactly 1 week, which is the 23rd, and that's going to be 8888 copies. And the reason for that number is we really want people on our platform to have Fanatics. As we said, part of the fan card is being able to customize your profile. So the first collection, the only thing you can do that with is the Fanatic. And the reason we're using the fair launch protocol is we want to keep our floor fairly low, so it gives our users and community access to get it. We're keeping our floor at right around 0.25 SOL, and the users can decide if that's the fair price they want. And the fair launch protocol, if you aren't familiar with it, essentially it's a tool for price discovery that the project doesn't set the exact mint price, but the community does by doing bids, and it ends up being the median of all those bids. For most projects that have used it, we've noticed some type of bell curve. The Trash Pandas launched a couple days ago, and they actually got the floor price of the whole mint. So I mean, if that happens, would definitely be cool with that as well. Reasons to mint the Fanatic, I would say, is because one, the art's pretty badass. We've put a lot of time into the art.
I love it.
And so far, thank you. So far, I've gotten great feedback on it. It's going to be the first NFT that you can utilize for your fan card, so that you can show it off. And fantasy sports is a very competitive game, so the flex and the clout status that you can have in game goes a really long way. We've seen other platforms in the centralized world for fantasy do this, and kind of similar like skins in a video game. But on top of that, we're also going to be creating some channels in our Discord and doing social gating. We're going to be providing every week different lineups and strategies for fantasy sports, so you'll also get some advantage there from exclusive content. And then additionally, you'll have down the line access to further Fantasia mints, and you'll be like the first one on it, so kind of like a whitelist access. So the Fanatic is the first collection. We want to give people who are long-term supporters different perks long-term as well.
Right, awesome. So you did mention a few things there, and I'm hoping we can summarize that for a little bit. So when you get this NFT mint, it's going to be a fair launch protocol, and I'm a big fan of the fair launch protocol. It gives everyone kind of a chance to get in. So one thing I do remember from the fair launch protocol is that there's a small like a base fee. Are you guys going to be implementing this base fee, or it's just going to be free for community?
Yeah, so the base fee, and one of the main reasons, so two main reasons fair launch protocol is used. One, so there's price discovery that the community can set the price, not only decided by the team. And then two is to avoid bots. So that's actually the fee that you're talking about, like the transaction fee. And that's historically been donated to charity. So same thing for us. We're going to have a small fee. We've seen it range from like 0.1 SOL to 0.2 SOL. But we believe that 0.05 SOL is enough to deter bots, because even 0.05 SOL spamming that should deter them. And that's also going to be all donated to charity.
Awesome. Do we know what charity that's going to be? And I, for one, I'm glad for the fair launch protocol, because I've been shut out by all the bots that just keep bidding up all these bloody NFTs. It's really upsetting, really. What charity do we know?
So we don't know yet. We haven't completely decided, but we also kind of want to leave that up for the community. So once we get the Fanatics launched and have that, community, we can take a little vote on it and see what options we have for it.
Awesome. Okay, so I just wanted to quickly summarize kind of what the utility of this NFT is, because I'm a big utility guy. If I can't do anything with my NFT, it's not really doing much for me. So once you have this NFT, you'll be whitelisted for future kind of drops. One, do we know any other future drops you guys are working on at the moment?
We haven't announced any right now, but as soon as we finish this one, we're definitely going to be on the next big one. We have a couple like small partnerships where we're having partnerships with a lot of NFTs that we're doing private contests for. So we'll have some collabs there.
Awesome.
But yeah, sorry, keep going ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Keep going down the rabbit hole.
And so you'll be part of a social gated Discord where you'll be able to talk with other people who have fantasy NFTs, and you guys can share strategies. Is like trading back and forth, that sort of stuff. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, that's one part of it, and then we're also going to have like we've hired some people to write like weekly reports and give their actual insights about it, who are have a lot of insight on like the fantasy sports world.
Right. Okay. Okay. And these reports will obviously affect people's decision making when they go and trade for a player.
Yep, exactly. That's the goal. Give them some extra insight.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Um, Can you tell us about the monetization model? Where does value enter into the Fantasia platform, and where does value leave? So obviously, it enters through people who are able to play this game and earn fans tokens. How are they able to use this value to go and buy USDC, for example?
Go buy. Yeah, so that's going to be like hosted offline. So whether it's DEXs or centralized exchange, we're working with a couple centralized exchanges after IDO to list our fan token. So that's where they can use it. But the main token, the purpose of it, one of the main purposes is to use it in our NFT store to customize that fan card and buy those NFTs.
Right. So to buy something in your own ecosystem for that flex factor that we're talking about.
Exactly.
Right. Awesome. So we're currently at nearly 30 minutes here. Let's have a quick look at the community questions to see if we got any at the moment. Let's see. So Spec Gaming, hey man. Spec Gaming, am I still early enough for a potential whitelist? What's the best chance at an NFT? Yeah, do you have current whitelisting for your Fantasia NFTs?
So we don't have whitelisting right now for the NFTs. It's just using the fair launch protocol. So anyone can really go and enter it. We're minting in exactly a week. And as we said, we're keeping the floor price pretty low. So the barrier to entry shouldn't be that high. We really want our community to be able to get our hands on this and support our project.
Right, awesome. Yeah, and Spec Gaming, it will be using the fair launch protocol, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. We did talk a little bit about it, but I'm sure you can find some YouTube videos about it as well, where basically you'll be able to make your bid, and if you feel it's if the entire community feels that this NFT is worth more than the certain amount, and if you're in that amount, then you're able to get your NFT. If you're below, then unfortunately the other people who bid it above you, because they value it higher, gets to keep the NFT. All right, so we'll wait for any more questions in here. Let's talk about your competition. I haven't heard of any other fantasy sports kind of platforms in Solana. There might be some in Ethereum, like this fantasy, like horse racing, Zed Run, all that sort of stuff. It's kind of different, but not really fantasy sports. Have you guys seen any competitors currently?
So, no. Long story short, in the Solana sphere, we haven't seen anyone. We've seen like some projects that said they're gonna do fantasy and kind of fell off the map. Actually, maybe like 6 or 7 months ago, SBF from FTX tweeted like the first person to bring fantasy sports on Solana, like we'll give them a $1 million grant, and it's gonna like make Solana mainstream essentially. And I actually had no idea about that till we were probably already in our DevNet beta. Someone sent us that tweet, and I'm like, holy shit. So we weren't the first ones to like think that fantasy sports is going to be a huge consumer application that's going to be an amazing fit for blockchain technology. But long story short, it doesn't really work on Ethereum, especially what we're trying to do in a sense of traditional fantasy sports or season-long leagues. Yeah. And the reason for that, you need real-time data, and you just can't have that in Ethereum without paying like $1 billion. And users need to store data on chain. And even if there is wagering or if it's a play to earn game, storing that data on chain for Ethereum, the gas fees would be insane. Solana, the transaction fees are very minimal, so users can utilize the application. I would say the biggest competition on the blockchain space that currently has something similar is a company called SoRare, and they're valued at multiple $1 billion. So
yes, I know them.
Yeah, they're killing it. They're doing like a more of a FIFA Ultimate Team type of thing where you have like trading cards. Ours is more like purely analytical based, traditional fantasy sports where you do the draft. You don't need to buy like the team's NFTs, all that kind of stuff. So we're really happy with the path that we're in. Because we can scale to any type of sport really, where we use sports data oracles to provide the data and use the players' names and all that kind of stuff. Where they have to go through licensing to get every single player. So you see that they only have like certain leagues right now.
Yeah, right. I did see the other competitor you just mentioned, and they did a giant raise, I think, and they were making waves. But you did just mention something there as well about NBA, NFL. So you guys will be able to roll this out to any other sports, really, isn't there? Isn't that functionality exists? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would say optimistically, we're gonna have EPL and cricket by the end of the year, but realistically, we'll for sure have EPL, and then the next thing we really want to do is cricket. We see that's like a really big emerging market. One for fantasy sports. Fantasy sports is growing worldwide, and then two for blockchain. We believe that India is a huge market for blockchain, so cricket's gonna be a huge one for us.
Yeah. What about soccer? Soccer is probably the widest but most played sport, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, soccer is definitely the biggest played sport. In terms of fantasy sports, it's probably number 2 or 3, and we're gonna implement that before the end of the year for English Premier League at least.
Oh, right. Awesome. I just want to get like my Cristiano Ronaldo kind of NFT, or see if I can use him in my team. That'd be awesome.
Exactly.
I think I did see another question from someone else in the chat as well. So someone's asking what they currently use. So there was a question here, and I think I did answer him as well. Just give me a second. Let me try and read it out for you guys. So this is from Frigate, and he's talking about the contest for the NFT communities. Does Fantasia verify the NFT holdings as players sign up, just like the Grape bot does, or does the community submit a list of people who hold their NFTs and Fantasia creates accounts for them? And I think the answer was that you're able to do both. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, you're able to do both. So most NFT communities do is just do similar gating as it's not really. Yeah, it's gating by holding NFT in your wallet. So all that has to happen is one person from the community creates a contest. They put in that NFT and it grabs a metadata from it and says, okay, this is a Fanatic NFT, for example. Then when a user with the Fanatic NFT goes into the lobby, they will be able to see that contest and join it. And then on the flip side, NFT community can also, or any community, even just any player, can gate a contest by usernames. For example, if you want to play with like 5 friends, you just need to grab their usernames and then you can host it on Fantasia like that.
And this really allows a lot of other protocols on Solana to just come to you and try and do some community event with themselves. Yeah, you guys have done one already, haven't you? I think 2 or 3 actually.
Yeah, we actually have a bunch of projects that have already used us. We've got Rogue Sharks. Rox has been doing tournaments literally every day. DJ Nape has done a couple tournaments with us. We're talking to the Monkeys, Jungle Cats. A lot of different projects want to utilize this platform, and we right now, since we're in beta, create contest is not open to everyone, just to keep users that are still joining like not too cluttered with how many contests are available, and kind of streamline that process. But once in the next couple weeks, we'll allow that create contest for anyone. So the onboarding process will be completely self-service, and it really is self-service now. We just have to interview people a little more just to make sure that they actually know what they're doing. Their community really wants to play fantasy sports.
Yeah, I think if you get the monkeys on board, you're going to get some eyes on you. You're going to get some real OGs come and bring the entire communities. Another question here from the public is, do you have any kind of videos or resources to teach people how to play this, or they just go to the platform and kind of use the beta font?
Yeah, so we have documentation on our website. If you sign in or just Google docs.fantasia.app, you can find it, but it's also on the right-hand side of our application. If you sign in and then click on that drop-down, you should be able to see documentation, and it tells you a little bit about fantasy sports and the whole premise behind it.
Yeah, so whoever that question was from, I've linked the documentation in the live chat, so feel free to read that as well. And they've also got some frequently asked questions here, which is pretty good. Okay, so to clarify, you guys are having a mint to 23rd. What's the next iteration of the project? So after the mint, immediately after, what will you guys be doing?
Yeah, it's just for anyone who's been a part of our community, we ship features almost every day. So it's just always shipping features, making the gameplay better for everyone that uses it. And then adding more sports is really the big thing. And then early December, mid-December, hope get that IDO out the door, and just keep growing the community. More contests, more prizes,
More collabs.
More collabs, different game types. One that has gotten me really excited and some other people really excited. I know Jamon's excited about implementing it. Is so we talked about having private contests for NFT communities, but the next level up is having private contests and two NFT communities kind of battle each other out. It's kind of like red team versus blue team. If you're an ape or a monkey, you join one of the sides, and then the team with the most points summed up wins that contest. So really creating competition between different NFT communities. We haven't really seen that on Solana yet. We haven't even seen these private contests on Solana. That's one of the beauties of our platform. Not to toot our own horn, but we can host Web3 contests and socially gate them to a pretty big level on a platform. So that's why we love Grape, because I think Grape's the only other community that does that, and through the Discord, and we're the only ones that are doing that through Fantasy Sports. So super excited to see that.
Yeah, dude, that's a really good idea. I can imagine like the degen apes and the monkeys going against each other and trying to just win the game. That's crazy. That's a good kind of implementation of the product as well, and it gets the community really involved. I think that's great. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, thanks. We're super stoked about that one.
Right. Okay. Any other questions, guys? You guys have? Yeah. Our king. Let's do a Grape fantasy team. That would be cool. What about mobile integration, you guys? So Phantom Wallet, I think. Can we log into anything else apart from Phantom Wallet? And are you guys going to be implementing any wallets, any mobile wallets?
Yeah, J-Mont, you want to take that?
Yeah, for sure. So currently we support Phantom and Slope on the Fantasia platform. And so we're definitely planning to build a mobile app. And unfortunately, we're kind of dependent on Phantom reaching a mobile wallet by the end of the year, which I believe they've promised.
Yeah, they teased it. They teased it in Twitter. We saw.
Right. So we're really hoping that happens. That would open a lot of doors for us. And if anyone knows, the fantasy community is extremely mobile. So everyone, the usage on mobile apps is huge in fantasy sports. So as soon as that's a possibility for us, we definitely want to get that out the door.
Nice. I think if you want to reach a larger audience, I think mobile is probably the way to go, and especially for something like this where it's more fun and gamey and something you can access very easily. That's just my opinion. I have no analytic skills in that.
Exactly. Definitely.
Yeah, right. Okay. So before we keep going forward, do you guys want to make it a small announcement for a competition that we might be doing with Grape?
Yeah. Let's do it. It sounds about time. So I don't know if I think someone asked it earlier, like they should do a Grape fantasy team. But good news, we are doing that. So the contest starts this week. It doesn't matter if you're an NFL or NBA lover, because we're doing both. So definitely check it out. We'll be dropping the announcement shortly here. The contest starts for the NFL this Thursday, the 18th, and goes all the way to the Monday, the 22nd. And then the NBA game is going to be on the 20th. So you have some time to prepare. We'll be dropping more information shortly, but we're super excited to partner with Grape, especially since a lot of you are already excited about it. There's been people asking us in our community Discord to partner with Grape, so excited to make that happen, and hope this is the first but not the last time that we're hosting private contests for the Grape community.
Yeah, right. And we have Taki Soul linking the Fantasy League channel there. So guys, let's just talk about the picture I just posted there. So there is a prize pool of 20k Grape, which is the first win to the Fanatic NFT. And the contest date are NFL 18th to 22 November. And NBA is 21 to 22 November. Can you tell us a bit more about the competition?
Yeah, so for the NFL one, it's going to be just like I said, for a whole match week. So I see someone's already hyped about it. That's awesome. So it's for the whole match week. So set your lineup, do your research, make sure that all your players are in. The NBA one will run on that Saturday, and that's going to be for one match day. So NBA is a little different because they have a lot more games. But if you have any questions about this contest, you can always reach out in our Discord or the Grape Discord as well. We offer support 24/7 in our Discord, and we're excited to get you guys on the Grape platform. Make sure to fill out that form, get your IDs in, and then we will be updating, and you'll be seeing the contest shortly on Fantasia. If you want some practice beforehand, which I highly recommend, since there's a lot up for grabs here, go on Fantasia.app and you can join the NBA contest today, and you can also join the NFL contests that are public for the whole community today as well.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good for us to practice, because it's just beta tokens at the moment, and it's not, there's no value, so we can get to practice before we actually get to this competition. And I think I myself will need a lot of bloody practice.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're happy to see that some of the users are already pretty hyped about this already.
Yeah, man, this is pretty good. Oh, and our King did play the NFL game last week as well. Nice. All right, and I did misspeak there, guys. I think the NBA will run for Saturday, the 20th November. So if you're interested in fantasy sports, if you want to win some Grape, just have some fun with the community. Just try this game out. It's not hard. You can practice right now on the beta version of it. And yeah, I'll probably be I'll be participating as well. I don't know what will happen if I win. I might be too biased, maybe.
Yeah.
Spec Gaming, you do have a question. You said, is there a specific requirement for the device we use for low or high end? They haven't. I don't think that's available at the moment, because it's not on mobile yet, so we don't know what kind of how good your mobile phone needs to be. Do you guys have any indication of that?
For mobile, it should be.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a problem. I mean, nothing that we have in the game is too crazy in terms of graphics. It's pretty standard. So, yeah, I would say as long as your phone can power other applications, you should be able to power Fantasia as well.
Yeah, right. As I thought, like I didn't think it require any heavy kind of graphic, usage. Is just mostly analytics and data and just displaying that on the UI.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so we got a competition for the Grape Fan. Thank you guys very much for helping to set this up. I think it'll be really fun.
Yeah, no problem. We're always excited to host a Grape Fan.
Yeah. Okay, and just to remind everyone else as well, we do have some small Grape emissions that's going to come out to everyone in the chat here, to the best engagement. So one that's non-verified wallet will be getting 500 Grape, and a verified wallet will be getting 250 Grape. So if you have any more questions, now's the time to post them in there. Let's talk about the Solana ecosystem with you guys, if we can. So Digital Dan and Jmont, how do you guys obviously like Solana, you're building your product on here. Talk about what kind of tools you guys really love on Solana, and what's actually missing on Solana, and what are you excited for people in Lisbon? What are they building? What's really getting you excited about the ecosystem?
Yeah, so I can take that for a quick second. Some things that I'm really excited about is, well, currently that's out there is Orca. I love the UI, the UX of that DEX, and shout out to that team. We have a lot of the same strategic partners, so they're definitely killing in that regard. And then from being in Lisbon, what I'm really excited about is to see things that haven't been created before on blockchain. So a lot of different social platforms, things that require high transactions, especially in the consumer's end, and them not to be bottled by or burdened by the transaction fees. So I've talked to a couple social platforms, some educational ones as well, really seeing what can happen with those and venture outside of just the traditional DeFi that we've seen over and over on different blockchains. So really bullish on that space, the consumer side of the house, because I guess we might be a little biased because that's where we live, but we haven't seen too much of that out on other blockchains. So I think Solana could take the throne, and with the consumer side, that's a really good way to onboard like the next million or 1 billion users even, and that's why like we are, or myself, I am so bullish about Solana.
Yeah, right. I would agree there. Like, there's so many there's so many projects that we see are just kind of not copy paste, but they're just basic the applications that we see on Ethereum coming over to Solana. We haven't really seen something that utilizes Solana to its full capability at the moment. Like as you were saying, low transaction fees, which means they can do heaps of transactions very quickly. And I really haven't seen the killer dApp for Solana at the moment. What kind of so you did mention some social media kind of applications and what they're building there. What about tools that you guys currently need? Is there something that isn't built yet that you guys would really benefit from? Maybe Jmont can answer this.
Yeah, I mean, nothing specific comes to mind exactly in terms of a project. I think going back to what we talked about earlier, having the mobile wallet would be absolutely huge for us, and we've discussed over and over again that that's something that we really want and eventually need for sure. And then specific like dev tooling also I think would also help us out a lot as we go through the process.
Can you tell us about the dev experience on Solana at the moment? I know Rust is kind of like a smaller known unique language. Is it hard for you to do your developer work? Any tools that you currently need or are missing? Or you have everything you need at the moment?
Yeah, I mean we're blessed with brilliant Rust developers on the team, and that's not me included. And so definitely, if I were to dive more into the blockchain side, the Rust side, that would be a huge help for a less technical dev.
Right, awesome. What are your favorite apps on Solana, by the way? So Digital Dan, I think you said you like Orca, and I like Orca as well. It's pretty good UI, very retail oriented. Kind of beats Radium in that respect. What about you, Jmont? What app dApp do you like the most on Solana?
Yeah, Orca's awesome. We've spent a lot of time exploring Orca and using it actually. We talked about how great of an application Selenium is. Radium is also great. Let me see a couple other ones that, I even recently just started using FTX a lot, and maybe that doesn't count completely, but really just a great experience so far.
Right, nice. Only just using FTX. They're like the biggest one. It's like the inroad to Solana, isn't it?
Right, exactly. Yeah, late start.
All good. So you guys both mentioned Orca. So is there a possibility of your token, this might be alpha, you don't have to say if it's not public, is there a possibility of the Fant token going over to Orca after debuting on Selenium?
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Nothing's public yet, but we would love to partner with Orca.
Awesome. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about you guys. We've talked about the product you guys have, Fantasia. There's competition coming out. Talking about your competition. We've talked about any community questions you guys have at the moment, and we've also talked about your thoughts on Solana. So before we start thinking about closing the AMA, I'll just get some small advice from you guys. This is something I do with all my interviewees. So just one piece of advice from both of you about about anything really. What advice would you give to someone in or outside of crypto? Something to do with life, perhaps.
Yeah, that's a fun question. I would say the one piece of advice, and this applies to crypto, but also everything, is just try it, just do it. For example, like this idea that we had of Fantasia, we had it for so long and talked about it, and it never got done for a while. And then one day we just started and then never looked back. So just do it. It's okay to fail, but you have to try. So that's my little rant.
Yeah, like build and then get the product out and iterate and just go from there. Everything's a process.
Exactly.
Awesome, good advice there. Jmont, what kind of advice would you give to everyone in the audience, anyone outside crypto?
Yeah, definitely. Just quickly adding on to Dan's point, being in Lisbon, it was crazy seeing the amount of young, brilliant people that are getting into Web3 now, and I think it's just extremely exciting. This is a very different time than we've ever seen. But another piece of advice, I would say just take care of yourself too if you are working in crypto. We've seen a lot of times that things move extremely fast, and one day off feels like a lot of lost time. But also it's good to slow down every once in a while and enjoy life.
Yeah, it's good to not have to look at the screen all the time. It's good to get out especially on like a day like today or yesterday. What about some market commentary? How are you guys feeling about the small downturn we're having at the moment?
Yeah, in regards to the market, I think it's a healthy correction, and we'll see. I mean, it's super hard to predict where it's going to go. One person will say one thing, another one will say another. But what we are seeing is more and more big institutions, whether it's VCs or traditional groups, having big fundraising rounds for getting into Web3. We saw Paradigm's $2.5 billion fund, which beat Anderson Horowitz yesterday. So if you step back and look at the macro scale, there's more and more people building every day, and that just means that more people will be able to get into crypto. The total market will grow. So short-term price is definitely hard to predict, but if you back out and look at the long-term thinking, it's a lot easier to see that trend, especially with how much money and resource and talent are going into it. Very, very bullish on the long term. I just can't speak on what it's going to be for the next couple of months, but in terms of years, this is how I think, at least, and how Fantasia thinks. We'll get there and we'll be good.
Oh, dude, I totally agree. The amount of VC funding that's coming in and the amount of teams that are coming in to start building. I don't even look at the short-term price range. I'm not a day trader. So I can see there's a $2 billion fund. $2 billion. My God, that's a lot of money. That's going to take a lot of time to, spread that out, build new teams, build products, go to beta, then launch, and then we're going to see some inflows even more. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so let's see if we have any questions from the last kind of questions from the live chat, and then we'll think about closing the AMA.
Sweet, let's do it.
Yeah, Trav Lines, jump in, have a go. We're all gonna have a go as well. Play some fantasy sports together. Okay, so if you guys have any further information you'd like to share, the stage is all yours if you want to talk about something.
I think that's about it. I mean, thanks everyone for listening. The only thing I want to say is that we're always around. If you guys have questions or feedback, we really love having the feedback. People have been super great about that. We've even seen some people write really long, Jamon, what is that arc? Some people have wrote essentially dissertations on things that we can do better and their own ideas. So we love seeing that. Always shoot our way. We personally read all that stuff. Join our Discord, get involved in the community, let us know how we can do better, and we will.
Yeah, awesome. Getting some community feedback is always good, especially for a young project, So guys, I'm going to be linking the Twitter down here. Make sure you follow them. They've got 7,000 followers at the moment. Your minting is going to be on November 23rd, which is awesome. I love the art, by the way. Who's your artist? Do you have a named artist?
Yeah, he's he's pseudo Anon, but we call him Bill around our team. Yeah, he's awesome. And one thing to mention: anyone participating in the Fair Launch protocol will get a participation item, which they can check out in the video. We're gonna be dropping a video in the next couple days here, describing the Fair Launch, give more information about it. So anyone participating in it will get something just for entering the contest, even if they don't win. So be looking forward to that as well. And you can put that on your fan card.
Oh, that's awesome. I like getting stuff for participating. All right, guys. I think we'll think about ending the AMA here. Thank you very much for joining us, Digital Dan, Jmont, and the 31 people in the audience. For everyone watching on YouTube, I'm going to leave the link description down below for you to join their Discord, have a look at their Twitter, have a look at their documentation, and even participate in some of these competitions that they're having at the moment. And remember, at the moment, you can participate using the beta kind of tokens. It's no value at the moment. So you don't have anything to lose apart from just some experience and getting to know the fantasy sports upcoming platforms coming in Solana. So we'll end it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. To the 31 people in the audience, we'll kind of think about giving out the Grape rewards. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. We'll be back with more interviews very soon. Like and subscribe if you want. And that's about it. thank you very much. Goodbye. Bye, Digital Dan and Jamont.
Thanks for having us. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All good, guys. Thank you. Ciao.